All right, when you first got your vocab, if you're going to do a PowerPoint, this is exactly what you should have done. First of all, you need to tell me what the vocab is for. And then all I did was type one word on each and every slide. Since there are 20 words, how many slides do I need?
21.
21. Each one has its own slide. Does everyone see that? Now notice that we had to use those 4 types each 5 times. So I just went through and went ahead and assigned them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 antonyms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cause and effects. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 synonyms. Does everyone see that?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. Then the next thing we're going to do is we are going to go out and we're going to find our definitions or synonyms. Okay, so I'm just going to go to dictionary, Google search, and my first word wasn't, well, I think on my list, though, it was contemporary. Okay? Contemporary. Happening, existing, living, or coming into being during the same time period. Looky here. Does that really make sense? Happening or existing? That doesn't really make sense to you, does it? What about this word right here? Modern. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Modern definitely makes more sense than the first one that we went over. Okay, so that's probably what I would have used in my vocab. We're going to put that first. That's my definition. All right, we're going to not worry about the fact that it's kind of hard to read at this point. Okay, so modern. I'm doing a synonym sentence. Look at the paper that I handed you. It gives you examples of how to do this. Synonym. I hate driving on congested or crowded highways when I am late. Plastic is a synthetic man-made material. So I have my word highlighted in yellow here. A comma, a synonym, a comma, and the rest of my sentence. Does that make sense? All right. So here I'm going to go back, and I'm going to work on my synonym sentence for contemporary. Contemporary, we know, means modern. What is something I can describe as modern?
Current.
Well, yes, it's going to be current, but what can I describe as being modern? Blake?
Present.
You're going to describe a thing as modern.
Never mind.
Yes.
A house.
A house. Her house was very contemporary or modern. Look, there I have. Oops, I spelled contemporary wrong. I have an extra R in there. Or modern.
No, you have the O in there. Somewhere where you don't need one.
Oh, I need an other R there. There we go. Because what's something contemporary? If you go into a really contemporary house, something that's really modern, really up to date, what would they have?
New iPhone.
New stuff, I don't know.
Okay.
iPad, flash screen, TV, computer.
Because there are many new technologies. Oops, I didn't spell that right either.
You use smart words.
All right, let's move on to the second word here. The word is rational. Go to my dictionary. Type in rational. Having reason or understanding. Okay? Reasonable. There's a good word. Relating to, based on, agreeable to reason.
Comprehension.
Reasonable is a very understandable, kind of. Let's look at how well, when I click over here over reasonable, it has where it'll take me somewhere else. Here is what reasonable means. Not extreme or excessive. Okay? Not like over the top. If something is reasonable, it's not like ridiculous. Does that make sense?
Like, I'm gonna sell a book for $1,000.
Okay, so rational could mean reasonable. And we're again doing synonym. Okay? What is something that can be reasonable or rational?
A deal on a car or something like that.
Oh, I like it. Okay. The deal on the car was rational. What do I need now?
Or reasonable,
Comma, or reasonable.
comma,
So I bought it. How stinking easy is that? Pretty easy. Let's go on to designate.
Oh, I got this
Okay, designate. Chosen,
one.
but not
but not installed. Indicate or set apart for a specific purpose. Okay, pointed out. This one here is probably the best one. The easiest one, I think, to understand.
It's the first one that popped up on the screen.
Not always the best, though. Remember, if you don't understand what it means, is it helping you learn?
No, but I got one right just by doing that because it was a small difference.
One right.
And,
Okay, here we go. So designate means we're going to set it apart for a reason. What is a good sentence we could put for designate?
the designated driver.
She was the designated, or we need to put a synonym, set apart
I don't know. She's usually...
driver because why?
Wait,
Because
wait,
the
Everyone else was drinking.
wait.
Sober.
There's another term. Sober. Like she's
That's
not
why
drinking.
Because she was sober, yeah, or because she was sober, definitely. Does that make sense? Are we getting synonym a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to do one more.
See, I never understood it. I don't like to ask questions. So
Facilitate. But you know what? Does it do you any good not to ask
See,
questions?
but I don't like to raise my hand and ask questions because I always think I'm stupid when I
You're
ask
not
questions.
stupid. Did you notice how many people got candy bars?
Yeah.
Not many, right? Not many at all. Facilitate, to make easier. That's pretty understandable. Anybody not understand that one?
That's the one I think.
Okay. Facilitate, though, is a verb, so we have to be careful when we use it. Okay, you can't say,
How do you
give her the
pronounce it?
facilitate. Facilitate. Okay.
The teacher was
No,
facilitate.
Nope, the teacher wasn't facilitate.
Where
It's a verb.
It's a verb.
So it's an action word.
The teacher,
made the test facilitate.
nope, it's not a describing word, it's a verb. Someone has to do it.
Teacher made the test.
Nope. The teacher facilitates. It's a verb. She has to do it or he has to do it.
facilitated.
The teacher facilitated the test,
The word.
or, yeah, you can change the tense.
Made it easier.
Made it easier. Oops.
Comma.
To understand.
To understand. Or we could put because it was too hard. All right. Now that you guys understand synonym, let's go down here to cause and effect. Okay? Cause and effect. Bedlam's actually a perfect one for this one.
I know.
Bedlam.
Is a loud place
Okay.
of chaos or business.
Obsolete, madman, lunatic, those are okay, maybe not the best.
Crazy.
Bedlam, a place or scene of uproar or confusion. Okay? It's a crazy, chaotic place. Cause and effect sentence. What could be a cause of bedlam?
You go
Drinking.
insane.
Christmas.
Drinking. I don't know.
You
A
go,
party.
You go
Christmas.
insane.
Because
Huh?
Black Friday.
if you drink,
Someone went insane, okay?
if you drink,
Black
if
Friday.
you get drink,
Black
it becomes
Friday.
bedlam
Black
because
Friday might be.
A play?
A play, maybe.
If you are drinking and if you get drunk, you can start fighting and yelling at each other, and it becomes a big uproar.
Okay. What about like a natural disaster?
A fire.
Hurricane Sandy.
A fire? An earthquake? Do you think an earthquake would cause bedlam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here would be an easy sentence. After the earthquake, Q-U-A-K-E, in our town, it was a scene of bedlam where everyone was running around like crazy people.
Stop people.
The cause, the earthquake, and we understand what bedlam was, right? It's craziness. All right, let's look at the next one. Animosity. We just talked about this one in class.
Ill will.
Means what?
It will.
But
Hatred.
okay. Hatred or dislike. Cause and effect. So we need to think, what could cause hatred or dislike?
Your best friend kisses your girlfriend. I don't know.
Divorce.
Okay,
That was a good
I like both of those actually. And look at these words. Did you notice on the one that I highlighted for you? That for cause and effect, if you see because, thus, those are good words to think of when you're doing cause and effect. All right. Because my friend kissed my girlfriend, I have a lot of
Animosity.
A-M-O-S-I-T-Y against him. Everybody can kind of understand what animosity means there, correct?
Yep.
Ow.
Pretty easy. Okay? Let's see how much time we have on this video. All right, we have, I think, enough time to do one more. We're going to do allocate. Okay?
Set aside.
You are correct. Since we've already done that, I won't look it up. We all know that it means to set aside for something.
Oh,
Put away.
And it usually means money, right?
Yes.
can I say mine?
We're going to start with the because. Start with the because.
Because I wanted to allocate my money. Also means to set aside for my future spending.
Because I wanted to allocate my money. Well, you're telling me why you want to allocate your money. You're going to say, because I want to plan for my future spending, I wanted to allocate my money.
That's what I use for the
Okay?
myself.
Or because Christmas was coming up, I allocated my money to buy presents. Does that make sense? Everyone can understand what allocate means? All right, let's look at the example ones. If we use the example that we have here, it says great calamity. For example, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis. What are great calamities?
Natural disasters.
Okay, earthquakes, hurricanes, and tsunamis, we have examples of them, are becoming more and more frequent. Or, the artist paints many picturesque scenes. For instance, he creates landscapes, rainbows, and sunsets. So what types of things does he create that are picturesque?
Living
Rainbows.
Sites.
Rainbows, landscapes, and sunsets. Okay? So let's look at one of the ones that we needed to do, or that I chose. You didn't have to do this one this way, but I decided 4C was going to be an example.
To see beforehand.
Right. This one means to see
You
beforehand.
didn't capitalize the T.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
First. Minus 1 point.
Beforehand's one word.
All right. What could we have an example of someone who foresees? Who are people who might foresee? A fortune teller? A wizard? Okay, so we might do this. There are people who foresee the future, comma. What were those key words?
Also known as Kyle.
For example, wizards, fortune tellers,
Or Kyle.
or Kyle.
Yay.
Since he's the one who always...
You added Wednesday.
Oh, there's only one Z.
Yeah.
There's only one team wizard.
There we go. Not very well, do I?
No, not really.
All right, next one. Anthem. What is it?
It is a
A
song
song.
of gladness.
A song of praise or gladness.
Or
All right.
also a hymn. It's also
What
a
would be a reason that we would sing the national anthem?
And
Respect for our
honor
country.
of our country.
In honor of our country.
I got a reason.
Okay? This one here I have is cause and effect.
So we all get
How did I get to cause and effect? Somehow I got to the wrong one. Let's go down here. Rampart.
The base.
Protective barrier.
I was thinking the base.
Protective. All right. We could say there are many types of ramparts. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For example,
Castle wall.
a castle wall, a
Barbed wire.
barbed
It's kind of-
wire
kind of-
fence.
Or jails.
Electrical fence too.
Jail cells.
What about a bunker? Like if you get down in a
Yeah.
bunker,
What's that?
or a foxhole.
Fox was up.
Okay?
Bomb shelter.
Does that make sense? I had to put more or less what it is in that sentence by giving examples of that word. We're going to do one more. Counterproductive. Now, a lot of you struggled on this one.
Yeah.
So we're going to look this one up.
Super soup.
Counterproductive.
I said a second soup.
Yeah.
The second
Okay.
soup you can eat.
Looky here. Tending to hinder the attainment of a desired goal.
That's why I
have
put it.
no
I probably
idea
shouldn't
what
have. I
that
probably
means.
shouldn't have pulled.
What do you think? Look, here are some ineffective, ineffectual. What counterproductive means is anything that is holding you back
Something holding you back.
from a goal.
My mom.
For example, if you are working on a group project and you have somebody that's screwing off, they are being counterproductive. They are not helping you get to the goal of getting the project done. Okay? So, that could be maybe my sentence. Let's say Jimmy was being
You feel being.
I can put my name.
counterproductive for counterproductive. For example, he was talking, spitting, and throwing.
People.
Oops, I spelled throwing wrong.
Again.
Throwing things while we were supposed to be working. That is an example of being counterproductive.
Can you put my name to Jimmy?
No, it's Jimmy. Jimmy's a... Okay, antonym. Here's our examples. I like to be challenged, comma, but that tells me it's the opposite. I do not like to be bewildered.
Keywords, but.
But, yes, or that mistake was accidental. However, this mistake was intentional.
However.
Okay? Accidental is obviously the opposite of intentional. Challenged is obviously the opposite of bewildered. Make sense?
What is bewildered?
Yeah, I
Like,
never got
not
that.
really
That's all
completely
the
understanding. All right, here we are. Infraction. Infraction means breaking a rule. Okay?
I got a good one.
Give me the sentence.
The kid in the book.
The kid in the
The kid in the book.
Philip.
Okay.
Philip Malloy.
Yeah, that kid.
Philip?
Broke roll by humming.
Philip was humming the national anthem in the morning,
Wait a minute.
That's not using infraction. It's not using an antonym.
but
This-
Philip Malloy
You guys are making it. You guys are
Philip.
making it a synonym.
Oh, I got it. Philip got an infraction
Got an infraction
for
Singing. No humming.
breaking a rule, not following it. That's not really the best one.
Antonym for
Why not
infraction?
be sitting
Infraction would be following rules. Yeah. All right.
Philip Malloy.
Let's do this.
She got,
Go ahead.
she got, a golden star because she did it.
Okay, so she got a golden star for
being in
Sounds like
Not
something for
wait.
kindergartners.
following the rules, but the boy got a golden paddle for his infraction. Ooh.
Golden paddle.
Okay, that would be a good one. Those boys. All right, let's do one more. Antonym ones are kind of hard. You just have to get that button there. Okay, tenure. You guys struggle with this one. Tenure is holding something for a time.
Oh
yeah.
I remember having the wrong definition.
Okay, a lot of times this goes in your job. If I have tenure, that means I've been here a while and I can kind of keep my job.
It's like you've been there for like
Some
2
years.
months or
Like, no,
Yep. Or if you live somewhere, it's called tenure. Okay? So here would be one, if as far as well, we can do the, okay, let's do this. When the school fired teachers, the youngest teachers went first. However, the ones with more
Experience.
tenure got to keep their jobs. Okay? Does that make sense? The ones who hadn't worked very long got fired, but the ones who had tenure got to keep their
Could
jobs.
you do tenure or more experience?
You don't have...
I'm jealous.
All right. Let's do a couple more here.
I'm sorry.
Compromise. Compromise is give and take, or coming to an agreement.
What's up?
I thought compromise mean discover.
Discovered? No. If we're fighting, and then we're like, all right, we have to get this fixed. All right? I will not punch you in the face if you will not kick me in the feet.
Isn't that bribing?
Okay? No, that's not bribing. You're both giving a little. It's give and take.
Oh.
Okay, Garrett, do you have a good sentence for antonym?
I don't give,
yeah.
I take. It's true. I never give.
the government is not always about compromise.
Theo?
It's not.
Theo?
Compromise.
Huh?
But
It-
No.
But disagree, but it always is something.
The government always disagrees.
with what?
Agrees with each other.
They spelled each other.
No, she just didn't space each other.
That's a good one. The government is not always about compromise, but it disagrees with each other. Excellent. Does everyone know what prudent meant?
Obey?
Uh,
Do what you were told.
Prudent is
Mark of wisdom.
Characterized by.
making wisdom. Yeah, it's wisdom. Okay?
You were so.
Like if you make a prudent decision or you give prudent advice, it's wise advice. It's really thinking things through.
Wisdom with others.
I got a good one for this one.
Okay? Give me a sentence.
I made a wise decision, not a stupid one.
A prudent decision. Oops.
Wait, it's answer.
You're going to put, yes, not a dumb one. Okay. I made a prudent decision. Sweet. not a dumb one. There you go. That has the antonym in there. All right.
I think the slide's